Howdy everyone, and welcome to the Move OTX channel today. Today's adventure brings us to Tiburon, the small town of Tiburon. Tiburon is about 25 minutes northwest of the Golden Gate Bridge. And it's on a little peninsula, kind of sticks out, and we're doing our trek on Angel Island. And we're going to come up over here. There's a lot of people gathering already. But the idea is you hop a ferry from the boat launch across the water to Angel Island. And this is where our adventure begins here today. So let's give you guys a quick little map view of where we're going this weekend. So you see those three blue lines running through the water there. Those are the ferry lines from San Francisco, Tiburon, and Oakland, Alameda. So we took the ferry route from Tiburon, and it drops you off at Ayala Cove near the visitor center towards the middle of the island there on the northern half. And we hiked that red heavy bold line around Perimeter Road, and that makes a complete circle around the island. That'd be a great day hike, by the way. We didn't quite do that, but didn't quite have the time actually, but we took that road around a bit north and along the eastern side of the island, and we stopped off at the U.S. Immigration Station, the North Garrison there, towards the northern top of the island. And we had a backpacking lunch there, a deli lunch there actually, and continued down Perimeter Road on into Sunrise campsites 7, 8, and 9. And you see where they're situated, overlooking Fort McDowell and looking straight across east. We had a great spectacular view. Okay, so let's get on to the trails and on the boat. Whew, all right. So that's the view, kind of looking back a little bit towards the Tiburon boat launch area. It's kind of like a little harbor, I guess. That's some nice townhouses along the water line there. So I got to mention a little bit about overnight parking as well. So we parked at basically a day lot near a CVS pharmacy in downtown. And surprisingly, it was only $5 a day. I don't know where you guys live, but that might be expensive. But here in San Francisco, I mean, it's not uncommon to spend $25, $28 per day parking in San Francisco. Now, granted, we're not really in San Francisco, but still, nonetheless, it's still a general area. So, spectacular views. Looking back at Tiburon, you can see the Golden Gate Bridge there towards the left. And this is the view looking out at the side of the boat, and that is Angel Island as we approach. So that bridge over there is the Bay Bridge, and we're making further commentary on it throughout our weekend. Not uncommon for seaplanes, waterbound aircraft circling around overhead. Pretty common sight throughout the weekend. So you're seeing a lot of little kids here on this ferry, and that's a great trip for little kids. If you got little ones and you're looking to get them into the outdoors, this entire trip was perfect for that. So this is the view towards the front of the boat, and that is Angel Island right there. We ran into some great weather this weekend. It looks kind of cloudy and gloomy, but hey, for the San Francisco Bay on the water, I mean, this is great. So hopping off the boat, we are now entering Angel Island. So Angel Island is part of the California State Park system. And man, I can't express this enough. If you guys are California residents, get out there and enjoy these parks. They're not always going to be here. I mean, the state park budget is always under fire, so to speak. So get out and enjoy the outdoors. I say that in every one of my videos, but I truthfully mean that. So here we go. We're starting our trek here out of the Ayala Cove area. And the first thing you got to do is climb some stairs and get up and off the coastline, get inland a bit, and hop onto Perimeter Road trail, I guess. It's not really a trail, it's actually a paved road, but the first part of this trek here is pretty much a leg burner, going straight up, maybe 300 feet elevation or so, over maybe 2/3 of a mile, maybe half a mile, I thought. So yes, my buddy Jeff did pack his camp guitar. So he's really good with that thing. He's got a lot of songs, and he brings along a set list and has some good old-fashioned tunes at night around the campfire and stuff. Oh, by the way, no campfires on Angel Island, so that's kind of a downer for us, but we were hoping they'd allow campfires here, but no, they don't. So California and the California state parks have had so much problems with wildfires, and especially during drought seasons where things are really grassy and dry. California geography just gets pummeled with wildfires and grass fires. So pretty much a lot of state parks have a no campfire rule. So parks like Castle Rock State Park, for example, it's kind of seasonal for them as well.
Never mind, okay.
Yeah, once you hike up and off the coast shoreline there, you're you're greeted with these rolling grassy hills.
Okay, you hear that?
Light
9/11 over here.
oak forest, completely. So very easy hike. We saw kids with babies with strollers and people with older folks with walkers even, and that kind of thing. So this is not for the adrenaline junkie outdoor enthusiast. If that's the kind of thing you're after, no, this is not the trek for you. This is the opposite. This is some R&R, some relaxation, to unplug, get off the computer, unplug from the working world, and chill out. That's really what this is all about. And actually a good dosage of history lesson in here too. So Angel Island in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, maybe 50s and 60s, served as an immigration checkpoint for Asian immigrants coming over from China. And they were basically housed and quarantined here as the government processed their papers and either allowed them to enter the country or not. So some of the video you're seeing here is like silent movie mode, and that's because I've got my finger over the microphone holes on my camera because the wind is blowing out my microphone. And that happened a lot actually on this trip. So, but spectacular views everywhere.
I know.
So here we are at U.S. Immigration Station.
Like far down there. I'm assuming there's tables down this way or one of these ways.
On the map there should be tables in.
Okay, is it this one or that one? It doesn't matter. They'll go to the same place. Okay.
I think they go to the same spot.
Yeah, okay. Here, we'll follow these guys.
So we're basically looking for picnic tables and a place to sit down and have lunch. Didn't gather any video of that, but I probably should have. But we had a nice deli backpack lunch, deli sandwich backpack lunch that I brought in
Yeah,
for the
it's down
group.
that way.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
I'm
was
gonna head.
heavy too, by the way.
I guess I would have this one
Man,
here.
probably
Okay.
10 pounds of food in my bag. Maybe not that. I'm
Yeah,
exaggerating.
I can see
Maybe
him down this
5 or
way, I think.
6 or so. But it was heavy. So I'm not really into urban exploring. If some of you guys are into urban exploration and video, um, this might be an interesting trek hike for you guys. You'll see some other buildings as we go along here. Everything's old. It's just all part of California immigration history. This island also served as a military checkpoint as well for soldiers returning from World War I and World War II deployment, I believe in the Pacific, so a good deal of military history here too. I actually we didn't get much of a chance to really tour the historical sites here. I kind of want to go back and do that. That'd be really cool. Just spend a day doing that. So the boys later wanted to do the hike inland towards Mount Livermore, which is the central peak of the island at 788 feet. And we'll show some video of that too.
It's down that way. It's down that way. Where's John? Hey, John. We're going down this way. There's tables and stuff down this way. Okay.
Maybe we'll go a little further and see if it
Okay.
comes around.
Yeah, okay. Oh, there's water fountains and restrooms and everything. Man, nice.
So here we are hiking through some more abandoned buildings. It's amazing the amount of infrastructure needed to process immigrants and to house immigrants here reasonably humanely. Now I say that with some reservations because some of the living conditions here must have been just pretty bad actually. But hey, that's all part of ethnic history. Every culture you come across has its period of intolerance and inacceptance, or unacceptance, whatever the word is. And we're getting a glimpse of that here, reliving that here through history. So yeah, you're seeing us there. We packed everything in the kitchen sink with us. So John, my buddy on the left there, his pack was huge. So he packed our dinner actually. So you'll see some pictures of that too as we go. And of course Jeff there with his guitar. And this was about as close to glamping as it gets. Full running water at the campsites. Actually clean bathrooms too. So we're off the paved road now and we're onto the dirt fire road. We're kind of spread out now. Everyone's kind of going their own pace. The oak forest once again, rolling California hills and oak forest. Any of you who grew up in California and you're hiking and backpacking the lower elevations, I mean, the oak forest is the primary terrain. So you're getting a glimpse there of the sun glinting off my camera. I kind of wish I cleaned off the lens a little bit. Oh well. So that's just the beauty of this area. I mean, this is what it's all about: getting out and unplugging from the world and just being with your friends and doing things together. There is not a bad view of anything from this island, and we'll see some more of that too as we go along here later in this video. So I'm not sure what those structures are. I think that is part of Fort McDowell. That's the coastal military facility on the eastern side of the island. So I believe that's looking east there across towards Berkeley and Richmond, which make up the East Bay area. So this is the view of our trail looking down at our campsite. So this is after we established camp and we set up our tents and everything at this point. This is kind of a little bit of a hike that we had done. And that's the view looking down into camp. Those are sites 7, 8, and 9. Sunrise campsites. Just a quick walk through camp. Camp number 9 and 8. That's us. Boys are getting ready for dinner. We've got 2 groups prepping dinner.
We thought it was a movie, so we set this up and we tried to let her
So that little triangular tent off to the right, that's my tent.
Yeah, we tried.
So that's the view across the Bay Bridge. That's Treasure Island right there. And UC Berkeley is right at the tip of my finger, right about there. Hard to do on camera, right about there.
In case there's any chance of running out of gas.
Amazing view. Yeah.
How many fuel canisters do you have?
I got 3 of them, but they're down to about half. One of them's almost dead, so 2 good ones.
So this is our Camp Glorious dinner. We had chicken and steak fajitas. Oh man, that was so good. So we're cooking them over backpacking canister stoves, and those are nice. I like canister stoves. So I had 3 of these with bell peppers and red peppers and fresh onions and guacamole, fresh made guacamole. So this is a little hike we did at night. I didn't film any of it, but these are some stills I took from my camera. That's the Bay Bridge, and that is the view of San Francisco. So just looking kind of across, Ghirardelli Square is right in the middle there. The sun is coming up, and it's going to be warming up nicely. First time in a long time I've had morning sun on my tent. Hopefully it'll dry out some of the condensation in here. Not too bad, actually. So this is my gear top trekking pole tent, obviously. It's a great tent. So as you can see, I've got it set up with the bug mesh and the tarp, of course, or the rainfly, of course, too. So what I like to do is, of course, I got my Therm-A-Rest Air Pad, but I like to have the Z-Lite pad outside underneath, so it actually serves as like a cushion for the floor and everything as well. It gives me a little bit more puncture and a lot more wear and abrasion resistance. So that works really, really well here too in dry, non-rain conditions. We had a little bit of rain last night, but not a lot. Like more like a hazy fog, heavy fog actually. So plenty of foot room. I'm a side sleeper, so I usually kind of curl up like this. So when I curl up, I got plenty of headroom and foot room. And even if I lay out straight, I'm actually okay. I clear pretty well. So I'm 5'11", and got plenty of head and foot room here. Great pillow, by the way. This is what is this? Sea to Summit. This is the small one. They make a medium-sized one. It's a little bit bigger. This is the small one, and this is an awesome kit edition. This was probably the best night of camp sleeping I've ever had. I slept straight through the night. Usually I wake up once, maybe twice, but tonight was awesome, and I think it's because of this. So I have my sleeping bag set up on top of my backpack, so you can see my pack hip belt underneath here, and my pack is totally empty, but there's just a little bit of stuff in there maybe, and the backpack actually kind of helps push up the head area of my sleeping area, and pushes up on my pillow a little bit. So I deflated the pillow just a tad. It's a little bit softer and really, really comfortable. As a side sleeper, I'm like this, and totally comfortable. Getting kind of myself situated, ready for breakfast. I'm gonna bring some water out, my camp stoves, and wanted to show you guys this view. Waking up this morning. Look at that. So that is Treasure Island going across the bay. That's the Bay Bridge, not the Golden Gate Bridge. San Francisco is iconically known for the Golden Gate Bridge. That is the Bay Bridge that links Oakland, Alameda with San Francisco. So let's get my shoes on and head on out there. So this trek got some new treads. These are some Adidas Trail Runners. They worked out pretty well for me. So far so good on this purchase. And get these babies on and we'll have breakfast. So this is my tent for this weekend's adventure. It's a gear top trekking pole tent. Roomy, 2 vestibules, 2 doors, really comfortable. Big enough for my full-size air pad, and just some space on the sides for my gear, cell phone, batteries, and I can very comfortably fit everything in this tent. Nothing stays outside. I put my backpack underneath the pillow area, and that really improves the comfort overall as a side sleeper. So awesome. So let's go check in for breakfast. See what we've got.
Good morning, William. How are your boys? Do they sleep too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go.
All five of them.
All 5 of them. Cool.
And one of them
Oh my gosh.
fly swatter right now.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Oh, wow. That is an amazing thing to wake up to. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow. Fishing boats are out early. They're probably coming back by now. They've already made their run. Look at that. It's a view of the bay we don't normally get. Yeah. How'd you guys sleep last night?
I actually slept pretty well.
Raccoons bother you, or? No, they were snooping around my tent. They were peeking underneath my rainfly. I look over and these guys like, whoa, hello.
Yeah, I think I had a couple visits. But
Did you? Yeah, I could hear him. I could
sit
hear
right
him.
there.
I could hear him tugging and pulling up the rainfly to kind of peek inside my tent. Like, what the? I must have been down. Because I'm right by the bush, the line over there. Yeah, and they were coming in out of those prickly bushes. I figured those prickle bushes would keep me safe from critters. No, they don't care. You know, they have no concern for the prickles on those things at all. So we packed up our camp a bit and we're headed out on a day hike to the top of the hill.
So let's get the map out really quick, and this part of our trek we are hiking west along Ida Trail towards the peak of Mount Livermore. So some spectacular views this entire part of the hike. Looking at the topographic lines, it looks more intimidating than it really was. I didn't get the feeling like it was a real leg burner or a serious lung burner. Despite, a steady climb up to 788 feet.
Uh-oh, am I the caboose nominee now?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, I'll do. Oh, who's the caboose? You or me, or both of us? We'll both be caboose duty. Yeah, we tortured Abhishek enough. He doesn't want to do that again. Okay, Jerry.
That might be a problem. I think your legs do need to bend up when you go into the walk.
Now I'm walking backwards. My legs are bending backwards.
So this view that you're seeing here, this is the same view that I showed you with the night hike still image that I presented earlier. So I showed you the night skyline from San Francisco and the Bay Bridge. This is from the same flat, of course, during the day. And what you're looking at there is San Francisco. That's Alcatraz right in the middle there, that small island. You can see the Golden Gate Bridge. There's William. There's William, the group comedian. And you can see Angel Island coming into view right there. That's the larger island there, kind of towards the left. So Angel Island is an island in the bay between Oakland, Alameda, and San Francisco. And the Bay Bridge spans from Oakland to San Francisco and across Angel Island. So it was really windy here too, so I had to cover up my microphone this entire clip here. So no camping here, despite how pretty it is. You can't camp here. Like all California state parks, you can only camp in designated camp flats, tent flats. I shouldn't say that. There are parts of Yosemite where that's not exactly true, but for the most part, you have to pitch your tent at dedicated flats. So we're climbing higher now. and some gorgeous single track. So there's, once again, not a bad view of anything on this island along these trails. So again, it's an easy stroll. I never ever felt like, you know, I was exerting a whole lot of energy. Despite climbing, you know, usually hill climbs can be pretty brutal depending on the pace. And we did a decent pace. We were doing about maybe a 3 mile per hour, 2.5, 3 mile per hour steady pace. Uphill. Yeah, it's only 788 feet, so think of it that way. So, but just gorgeous. There's there's Treasure Island again, and we're looking across there towards Berkeley, and eventually we'll kind of crest up and look back down over the northwestern side of the island. Just spectacular views from there too. I mean, it doesn't sound like much, you know, 700 feet really doesn't sound like much, but if that's the only elevated point across a flat body of water, I mean, it's going to result in a spectacular view. So that's actually the view down into Fort McDowell, and you can actually see our tent flats, our campsite down there. So that's kind of what we're looking at.
Don't drop them. Mike, you want them?
I see a raccoon.
So one thing that was a consistent factor as far as weather goes, the western half of this island was getting a very steady wind gust from the Pacific and the area of the Golden Gate Bridge, which makes sense logically, but it was very pronounced. I mean, the minute you crest around towards that half of the island, I mean, bam, I had to cover up my microphone because the wind would just blow it out.
Place in Europe, right?
It doesn't look like Italy.
Right? Yeah.
Italy, yeah.
It's like some place in Europe.
Yeah.
The area looking like that.
Yeah, me too.
So now that we're really approaching the crest and the peak, this is the view from atop looking back northwesternly towards Tiburon. And that's actually Ayala Cove, where we came in and entered the island on. So I just love trails like this. I mean, it is so therapeutic being out on the trails. I mean, you're just, all the stresses and all the anxieties that come with the daily grind of living in the Bay Area, or just life in general, leave them behind. You log out, you power down, and you leave it behind, and It's just you, your feet, and the elements, and your buddies. That's what it's all about. That's what this is all about. And I think what made this trip so unique is we are so close to San Francisco, so close to Oakland and Alameda, and all these massive population densities in the Bay Area. And here we are, just us and the raccoons, you know? I don't know what it is, there's something so peaceful about that, something so rewarding about that. And I know people that born and raised, grow up in California, that never get to see this. They never go out and experience this. And it's a shame. It really, really is a shame, unfortunately. But, you know, hey, I guess to each his own. If that's what people want to do with their time, then absolutely. This is what I choose to do with my time. And it's the most satisfying thing in the world. I have these memories that will always stay with me. Well, as long as I can remember them. So we're actually approaching Mount Livermore now at 788 feet. There's some picnic tables up here. And that tower off in the distance there, it's like a light tower or a beacon or something. I'm not sure what it is. So there's the view down into Tiburon and Ayala Cove.
Garrett, are you doing full movies or just pictures every 2 seconds?
No, I'm filming. I just let it run. It's just like this. I let it run and it just goes. Whenever I want to turn it on, turn it on, turn it on. I don't normally shoot in 4K because the frame rate is only 30 frames per second. So when things like leaves are blowing and it's really loading out the pixels and stuff, I choose to shoot at 1080p. At 60 or 120, usually 120 frames per second. So my camera, the CPU is processing tons and tons of images at a slightly lesser resolution. I don't know what this is. I think it's just a lighting beacon, isn't it? Doesn't look like anything. Yeah, there's no Diablo. Once again.
Are you sure? Are you sure it doesn't mean that?
So our adventure continues in the town of Sausalito. And we're stopping here for burgers and fries. So Sausalito's another little town
in the Bay Area. And it's burger time. Yeah. So thanks for joining me today, guys. We had a great time backpacking and camping through Angel Island in San Francisco. Please feel free to post comments and questions down below. And everybody, enjoy the outdoors and stay safe out there. I'll catch you guys later.